It is the Finer Things here at Laser 101.7. Big Mark Clark joined by Ari from Apollo Liquor. We're a week off of Oktoberfest. It was awesome. We had a great time.
It was unbelievable. Thank you to everyone who came. It was a great night.
It really turned out to be terrific. Now, we got to keep things moving forward. The fall is here. We're in the middle of football season. And you brought in, well, looks like a buffet full of stuff.
I brought in some stuff. Now, we're getting into fall, unfortunately, a little cooler. Here it is October. I started thinking about some hot apple cider. You know, living here in Minnesota, we got apple cider coming out of our ears. It's a great time of year. Everyone loves the fresh apples. So I brought in some things that you can mix with apple cider, but then also just plain old hard apple cider, too, just thinking about that theme.
Nice, nice. Now, what goes in a good apple cider? I mean, what do you what's the basis? What do you start?
Good apple cider, of course, you can go to Pepin Heights, you can go out to Westcott, wherever. There's a bunch of good places, but I love cinnamon schnapps and apple cider. That's really one of the big traditional things, you know. So you warm up the apple cider a little bit on these cool nights, drop in a little cinnamon schnapps, put in a couple cinnamon sticks, and you got a great drink that just warms you up, makes you feel good. You know, just the other day I was telling the lady, she came in, she had a little cold. I said, well, here, try a little of this, a little hot cinnamon schnapps, apple cider, guarantee it will cure you. She came back 3 days later, and she's like, wow, that really worked. I go, hey, Dr. Ari.
Dr. Ari in the house right there.
Mayo Clinic doesn't like that. I'm taking business, but it worked out good.
You know, a lot of people swear by, and I've done this before, too. I've had a hot toddy during the cold, during the flu season, and that always seems to work for me as well. But people take pride in their apple ciders, you know. Sure. They really put it. There's some people that get pretty extreme with them, you know.
It is gourmet stuff. You're right. So.
What did you bring for beers?
So, here I brought in some hard apple ciders. Now, again, you're talking about that. And I would think of it, a hard apple cider, it's 100% apple cider that they ferment. So it's running about 5% alcohol, as much alcohol as a beer. And there's a few different ones. The American original to me is always a woodchuck. It's made in Vermont, real 100% American. And I've got like 4 different flavors, from the hard cider to the Granny Smith, which is a little more tart. To the dark and dry. Then even have raspberry or pear cider, too. So it's a lot of fun, and the woodchuck ciders are great for a change of pace. And those are typically more chilled, things like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to you wouldn't want to heat that one up, per se.
Try it, but yeah, I think chilled is the best way.
You brought the Calico Jack as a spiced rum. That's one of the brands you can get. Yeah. Phillips, of course, everybody knows for the cinnamon schnapps. Yeah. And what is it, Tuaca?
Tuaca, that's pretty good.
I've actually had a couple fights with Tuaca before, so and he won, by the way. So
they always do. You're right.
But I've never known that I didn't know you could put that in apple cider.
Try it. I know it's one of those things, and I like to bring it in for people because it's got such a cool, unique flavor. It's got that amber, a little hint of orange to it. Believe it or not, vanilla. It goes really good with apple cider. And the reason I found it, a lady told me about it a couple years ago. She said, you got to try this. So I went out and tried it, and it was really good. So if you want a step up, very smooth liqueur, it's an Italian liqueur, mix it with apple cider. You will be so impressed by it when you really want to do something different and new and fun.
There you go, guys. Hopefully we've given you an idea on what you can do to stay warm this weekend. You guys go and sample any of the stuff we've been talking about here today at any of the Apollo Liquors. It's the Finer Things with Apollo Liquor and Laser 101.7.